What's up, everybody? Keith at Profit Lifter here, and today we are going to talk about the 5 mistakes that are killing your sales, whether you realize it or not. This is going to be a fun training. We're gonna dig into some really important sales topics, showing you how your automations, Profit Lifter, all the stuff that you have at your disposal is going to be able to help you to sell more and just help you think through maybe some of the things that you're running into with your sales that you may not even be realizing yet, and how we can overcome it and how we can work together to make you better at this. So we're going to hop right in here. And again, just to reiterate, we are going to be talking about the 5 mistakes that are killing your sales and how we're going to turn it around. So why are sales failing? Why are you having a hard time closing deals? What is going on that is making it so that you are not closing business the way that you should? The truth of the matter is most businesses struggle to maintain consistent sales growth, not because of market conditions, but because of fundamental flaws in their approach. Sales is something that you can learn. This is not like a hidden secret that nobody knows about, that there's no way of figuring out. Sales can be learned. I learned how to sell because I wanted to make money. Just hands down. You should be the same way. If you are in business, you need to know how to sell. If you're running a business, you need to know how to sell. And selling isn't about having these cool manipulation tricks that moves people around. It's about being able to effectively communicate what you're selling in a way that gets people to take action. And that's really what we're trying to do, is figure out how you position your pitch, how you talk to people that's going to get them to opt in and buy with you and to make a move. So here's some of the reasons that I think most businesses are running into. One, they're missing a message. Like, without a clear, compelling message, it doesn't resonate. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't buy any attention. If you're out there just throwing out generic stuff, generic taglines, generic pitches, it's going to get ignored. I mean, like, AI comes up with generic stuff. You don't need to. Like, there's no reason that things should be generic. You need to understand your message and figure out how to be unique in the marketplace and set yourself apart in such a way that people won't even think twice about working with you. And then from there, you're going to have a value articulation gap. And what this is the same thing we're talking about here. Most businesses can't effectively communicate the true value of their products or services, and they focus on features instead of benefits that matter to the customers. Now, for example, like I've got benefits coming out my ears with Profit Lifter. Like, I could pick anything and start selling it, and pick one niche and just really narrow down and sell it. But that's not the value that I want to present. And so what we're going to talk about with this is figuring out what makes you valuable, what makes you effective in a way that people actually want to listen and want to work with you. Then the last one's going to be systematic issues. Your sales problems usually boils down to systematic problems that are fixable. And when I say systematic problems, you may be like, Keith, I don't even have a system. That's your problem. If you don't have a sales system, if you don't have a way to quantify, to a consistent path to be able to take people down, you're not going to produce consistent results. And that's what we're trying to do, is create this consistency to be able to get people to move. Understanding these fundamental problems is the first step towards transforming your sales performance. And that's what we're going to dive into here. So let's talk about the first one. Mistake number one, there's no clear, unique value propositions. I love unique value propositions. If there's ever been a marketing message that has resonated and changed the way that I view marketing, it is unique value propositions. Unique value propositions are what makes you better. Like, why should somebody choose to work with you? And if you're not able to articulate that, that starts to become a problem. So I want you to think about this. When you walk into Walmart, like, you look at our little image here, you see this lady in the middle of an aisle at Walmart, and you see all these different detergents sitting right at them. If there is nothing unique about them, the only thing that's going to change their mind may be like, what's the color of the bottle? What's it smell like? But if there's no real value presented there, then you're leaving it up to the consumers to make up their mind on why they find you valuable. You're not actually articulating to them the value that you're bringing, and that's what we're trying to avoid here. So, what does this look like? From the prospect's perspective, a lead, somebody who's looking at your products, your services, the only thing they care about is what's in it for me. I've seen people abbreviate this WEFM. What is in it for me? If you cannot clearly articulate what's in it for your leads, for your customers, for your clients, they're not going to buy it. Because if it's not valuable to them, it's not important to them, and they're not going to invest their money. They need reasons to trust you with their business. Showing them the results of what's in it for them and what makes you unique is what brings them about to start trusting your business. And what they're looking for, and what all of us are looking for, is we're all looking for specific value that no other competitor out there offers. And when you can figure out that value that nobody else in the marketplace is offering, you are going to dominate the market. And a lot of times this can happen organically just by being out there. So how do you fix this? Keith, I don't know my unique value propositions. One, if you're a Profit Lifter client, just go into your Profit Lifter account, go under your account customizer. We have I got a whole video in there and prompts to be able to help you come up with your unique value proposition. But essentially what I always do is I look for 5 unique value propositions for every business. So the first one I'm going to look at is like, what's the overall value proposition? What is the main problem that I'm going to fix for you? Now, this may not feel unique, but what you need to do is you need to identify inside of your business or services, what is the one part of that that you want to articulate and you want to lean into better and more effectively than anyone else. So for example, let's say you're offering business loans or business credit or CRMs or whatever it is. If you just go out and say, hey, we can get you funding, everybody can get funding. That's not unique. That's not special. You're not doing anything or providing anything that has any significant value. If you go out there and say, hey, we can have you pre-qualified in less than 24 hours and get you to an underwriter and potentially have you funding in 48 hours, now you just have a real value proposition, because you're not just saying we can get you funding. You're saying I can get you funding faster than just about anybody else out there. That's what I'm talking about. Find that value that you bring to the table and lean into that. Now, with this first one, the other thing that you want to be thinking about is like, how are you operating your business? Meaning that, like, if you're one of those people, like, you love consultations, you love sitting down with clients, talking with them for an hour or two, getting to know them, digging into their business and working with them through it and giving them those options and things to overcome, then at that point you're going to be positioning yourself in a way that should be about you being there, attentive, paying attention to them, getting to know them, and finding solutions for their business. If you're not doing that, if you're one of those people that you're like, look, I just want you to go online, fill out an application, and then we'll take it from there. At that point, your unique value proposition necessarily that you're going to sit down with somebody and focus on consultations and know them, but it's going to be streamlined. There's going to be no friction there. It's going to be effective. It's going to be fast. It's going to be easy. So a lot of you coming up with your unique value propositions is going to have to do more with going to have to deal with you being able to articulate inside of your business what makes you special. So that's the first thing. That's the first one. The second one that I always look at is like, what makes your services value? What sets apart your services? Like, what's your customer support look like? Other things you can look at is like, what's your communication, what's your customer support, what's the quality of your product. If the quality of what you're presenting is way higher than anybody else, or is something special about it, that's what you want to articulate, and that's what you want to show is the value of what you're bringing to the table. And that's what your unique value propositions are. It's figuring out what inside of your business are you able to bring to the table that sets you apart. And then again, it speaks directly to what's in it for me for your leads. Because again, if you can't articulate what's in it for your leads, they're not going to be able to buy it, and they're not going to buy into it because there's nothing there that shows them it's actually important for them to be engaged and working with. So that's unique value propositions. If you haven't done that, do it. All right, my second mistake that I find that people make during selling. This was a good one, and this was I think it was Brett. One of my sales guys said this to me, and it was really good. He's like, I figured it out when I stopped selling out of my own pocket, and that really resonated with me, because what it made me realize is that a lot of times, as especially like as business owners, as us being the ones who are going out and like putting the product together, putting the marketing together, we start assuming what the problems are and why somebody's going to tell us no. And this is the assumption track. You're making assumptions about what the prospect will or won't buy based on your own objections, your own price sensitivity. Selling out of your own pocketbook may mean that you're in startup mode, you don't have a lot of extra cash there. And so that money's tight. And so you look at it and you're like, oh, money's tight, I can't afford this. When you sell out of your pocket, you're taking away the ability for your leads and your potential clients to work with you, because you're just assuming that they can't afford it, or you're assuming that the objection that you have with it is the same one that they have with it. Now, let's go back to what we were talking about before. Let's say you're talking about, excuse me, your unique value proposition is that you're not talking with them, you're just getting them in, you're getting them to come through. Your objection, you may look at somebody and say yeah, we don't really talk with you, and you kind of downplay it. Someone like me is going to love this. I'm going to look at this and go, oh, I can get money from you without having to talk to you. This is freaking amazing. I want to do this. Don't ever assume that your objection is the same as somebody else's objections. Be open with them, be transparent. And what you're going to find is when you start selling out of their pocket, when you stop imposing your objections and your price sensitivity, then you're no longer projecting the problem. You're not putting a problem on them that they may not have, which is the second point, projection problem. Your personal hesitations about price or value get projected onto customers, killing potential sales before they even have a chance. So when you're talking with somebody, you need to go into it as a blank slate. You need to not know, you need to assume that you don't know anything about their business, what they're doing, how it works, any of that. Your goal is to come in and to really just focus on giving them and then letting them articulate what the problem is. So what's the solution? Let automation present your full value consistently, present all options, and let the lead decide what's right for them. I have found so many times that especially, sorry if you're one of these people, I'm not trying to pick on you, but I'm going to pick on you. If you're a salesperson, I find a lot of times salespeople want to tell people, this is how it has to go. This is what you have to do. Opposed to just present the options, just show them, go, look, here's A, here's B, here's C. Here's everything you need to know about it. What do you want? What do you want to do? When you allow your leads to decide how they want to work with you, when you let them decide what's important and what they want to do, now they're not going to be mad at you if it doesn't come out the way that they expected, because they're setting that assumption. They're the ones who are picking it. You didn't tell them that it has to go this way. You didn't tell them that this is the only way that it has to go. You're letting them decide, and by letting them decide, you're giving them the power. But it also means that if they're not happy, they can take the responsibility for that as well. Your job isn't to decide what customers can and can't afford. It's to clearly communicate value and let them make informed decisions. Again, sales isn't about convincing people to buy your stuff. It's about presenting it in a way that gets them to listen to it and lets them make up their mind. If you present your unique value propositions and get in front of them and not have any preconceived notions, not have any projections, no assumptions going on, now you're giving them the freedom to communicate without you trying to steer a conversation a certain way. Again, your job isn't to decide what the customer can afford. It's to clearly communicate value and let them make informed decisions. All right, mistake number 3, no follow-up strategy. One single touch. Average conversion rate of a single touch is about 2%. And that is assuming that the people know you. What you need to be focused on is how to touch somebody 7 to 12 times, even 15 to 20. This is going to give you about a 300% increase in sales with proper follow-up. Look, if you are not following up with your leads, you are not selling. Just hands down. If you're not following up with people, with prospects, with people who are raising their hand, getting engaged with your content, then you're not selling. The number one thing that I see from our clients, from you guys who are watching, that are failing with their campaigns is that they don't call the leads. You want to assume everybody who signs up or everybody who opts into a Facebook ad is going to at least sign up with you. They're not ready to buy. They're just interested in what you're giving away, and they're interested in finding out if they want to buy. But you're not giving them the attention that they need if you're not following up with them. One email isn't a campaign. It's barely a start. Like if you're just sending somebody an email after you meet with them, cool, like you should, but that's not really following up with them. Most sales happen after the 5th contact. Yep, 44% of salespeople give up after just one follow-up. Like, look, if I generate leads for you, if I run an ad campaign and you start getting leads and I look in your pipeline and you haven't called any of them and you start complaining about the leads not being good, I'm going to complain that you're not actually selling them, that you're not actually out there engaging with them and following up with them and hitting them as many times as they need to. Think of it this way. They do not know that they need your services until you talk to them the first time. After that, they don't, like while they're on the phone, they may not come up with the objections that they have until after the phone is hung up, because we've all done it. Somebody hangs up, you're like, oh, I forgot to ask this, or what about this? They're not going to pick up, most of the time, they're not going to pick up the phone and call you or email you about those objections. They're going to be like, well, if it works, it works. Especially if you're doing something that's not like a required or a necessary product. Is something that like they have to have. So the fix to this is implement multi-channel approach: email, SMS messages, messenger, smoke signals, whatever you need to do to get in touch with them. Leave voicemail drops. The more somebody sees that you're trying to engage with them, the more they're going to trust you. When somebody signs up, they don't want to feel like they're not going to be communicated with. If they see a consistent pattern of you communicating up front before they've even paid money, they're a lot more likely to spend their money with you because they feel like they're going to be followed up with. Create workflows that escalate urgency over time. The longer somebody goes without being touched, the less interested they become. Like the way that I look at it is, if you don't have somebody truly engaged after about 3 days of follow-ups, meaning you're calling, email, texting, doing voicemails or voicemail drops every single day, that's 12 touches within the first 3 days. If you're not touching them 12 times within the first, and they're not interested, that sale is probably not going to happen. That's why following up is so critical. And if you ask me, like I want people to be followed up with daily for the first 3 days. Again, I want those 12 touches. I want my sales team to pick up the phone and go, hey, I know we talked yesterday. I just wanted to touch base with you. Did you have any questions from what I sent you? And just open up a conversation. It doesn't have to be a pitch. It's just a warm connection point. It's just a touch that makes them go, oh, they care. Address common objections proactively in each message. This is a great way for you to be able to kind of assume what the frequently asked question is and get out there in front of it and start pitching it and overcome that objection in your emails, in your text messages, all of that. And then vary content types to maintain engagement. If you see it, like you're not going to know if somebody's going to engage with you on email or text message until you email them or until you text them. See how it works? Yeah, pretty straightforward process there. So no follow-up strategy. Mistake number 4, zero personalization. And I think you're going to find this way more common as you start seeing the rise of AI in the marketplace. But the problem is generic messages get ignored in an oversaturated market, and all the markets are oversaturated. There are millions of businesses competing out there. Like that, you have competition, and it may not be direct competition. It may not be that somebody's offering the same thing that you're offering. But what it is that somebody else is offering something else that would take away that money that they would spend on you. If you're not personalizing and speaking to them directly, they're not going to feel special. They're not going to feel like you're connecting with them or engaging with them. With modern CRM and AI tools, personalization should not be something that you should think about. You should always be personalizing emails, personalizing responses, like at least putting their name in there. Like if nothing else, put dynamic content based on with their name and their like address them as it is. But the more content that you can put in there that's specific about them, the more they're going to feel like you actually listen to them. And then as you're emailing them and communicating with them, that you're actually engaging with them on the things that are important. So here's your implementation strategy. Number one, leverage custom fields. Make sure you're populating their name in there, put their business name in there when it's possible. If there are stages in their business that you want to articulate, or stages in their customer journey that you want to articulate, this is a great way to do that. Like meaning you can pitch them and go, oh, they're a startup, or it's they're just now starting to think about buying a vehicle, or whatever you're selling. From there, you want to think about behavior-based workflows. Trigger specific sequences based off page visits, based off interactions, based on link clicks. When they're showing interest in a product, follow up with them on that product. If I'm looking at like ad campaign strategies, and then I get an email that's talking about automation, I'm like, I already know about automation. That's not what I was interested in. But when you can engage somebody based on what they're looking at and what they're participating with on your platform and your website, your content, it goes a lot further with them, because now they're going to feel like, oh, you're speaking directly to me at the exact right time. I mean, truth is, you're just taking their signal and going, okay, let's do something. The third thing you can do for your implementation is segment by engagement. Create targeted messages paths for different levels of interest and engagement. And what this looks like is like if somebody has already scheduled a consultation with you and you've already had the chance to pitch them and you've already moved them through this process, then from there, your follow-up with them shouldn't be generic. Like, hey, let's schedule a consultation. Your follow-up should be, hey, let's get you started. Let me know when you're ready to get going. Let's get you taken care of. Let's move you forward and help you move through this process. All right. Last mistake is you're too busy and you're missing opportunities. This for all of you solopreneur rock stars that are out there, this happens a lot. And this happens for all of us who are really busy. We get too busy, and when you're juggling multiple responsibilities, it makes it way too hard for response times to go unattended, for it to be hours or days instead of it being minutes. When this happens, leads cool off, they lose interest, or they're already talking to your competitors and they're already working with your competitors because you didn't follow up with them as fast as they wanted to be followed up with. Trust and momentum deteriorate with each passing hour. The longer it takes for you to communicate with your leads, with your clients, the less interested and engaged they become on your services. Your business appears unprofessional or disorganized when you're not responding and engaging with them when they're asking to be engaged with. Studies show that leads contacted within 5 minutes are 21 times more likely to convert than those contacted after 30 minutes. Again, leads contacted within 5 minutes are 21 times more likely to convert than those contacted after 30 minutes. That is huge. So what is the solution? It's AI, like hands down. AI is your solution to this. AI is going to give you the instant follow-up. It's going to respond to inquiries 24/7 without delaying, in seconds or like minutes, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and like just instantly there. It's always there. It's 24/7. It doesn't get sick. It always happens. The other solution, automated scheduling. Like if somebody is interested And let's say it's a Saturday and you're not working, you're out with your family doing all of that. Having the automation there, having AI that's there that can help schedule consultations to get it handed off to you on a one-on-one is a much more effective way to engage with people. And the last one is going to be FAQ automation. If you know why people are already saying no, the faster you can engage with them, and the faster you can overcome those objections instantly in your messaging, in your follow-ups, the more likely they're going to buy from you and engage with you. All right, so what are you going to do this week that's going to help you out? Transform your sales process with high impact changes to implement. So if you start on Monday, I know it's Wednesday, but we're going to start you on Monday. First thing you want to look at, SMS integration. Add an SMS step to every lead nurture sequence to increase response rate by up to 45%. Text messages have a 90% open rate compared to emails at 28%. And I know these numbers keep going all over the place. Sorry, AI came up with some of this content and it's out there. Text messages, though, people read their text messages. I read every text message, even if I don't open it, because I see it come up on my phone and I'm like, oh, there's GoDaddy. Okay, cool. And I know it just registers for me. Everybody does this. They're always seeing text messages that are coming across. Number 2 is going to be lead segmentation. Implement a tagging system to separate hot leads and cold leads. Create priority workflows for high interest prospects to maximize conversion for ready to buy customers. Stop spending time on people who are not ready to buy, just hands down. Third thing you should be doing, you can do this on Wednesday, sequence overhaul, rebuild one follow-up sequence with personalized elements. Now, if you're a Profit Lifter client, you should already have this, so you're already covered there. Look, I'm already saving you time. Include behavioral triggers based on email opens, link clicks, and website visits. This is a great strategy, works incredibly well. Thursday, AI. Now, this is probably going to take a little bit longer, but install an AI bot to handle your top 5 customer questions. Program it to qualify leads and schedule calls with prospects who meet your criteria. But guys, don't be afraid of AI. Is it going to be 100%? No. It doesn't make mistakes? Absolutely. Is it going to change your business, though, and how you operate? 100%. It is going to change how you operate. It's going to change how you engage with people. It's going to change everything about what you're doing. And it's going to put you in a position where you're able to handle more business faster because you've got AI handling the tech stuff and handling the follow-up and the day-to-day monotony. So how am I going to help you with this? Profit Lifter is going to help you fix all 5 of these mistakes. And here's how. Pre-built follow-up workflows. Awesome. Built-in snap-ons, it's already there. Smart lead tagging and scoring. You've got lead tagging, you've got scoring, you've got all that available inside of Profit Lifter where you can go in and start personalizing your leads based on behavior. Next is going to be a personalization engine. Dynamic content insertion and behavioral triggers create uniquely relevant experiences for each prospect. My new favorite one right now, AI callbots and chatbots. And P.S. for those of you guys who are hanging out with me here, Profit Lifter we are going to be getting our first AI outbound AI call bot here in the next couple of weeks. We are number 1 on the beta list, and heck yeah! So we're going to be rolling out the AI call bots for us, testing it out, getting it locked in, and then have it available for you. Having AI call bots and chat bots though gives you 24/7 response system to qualify leads, answer questions, and schedule meetings while you're able to focus on other parts of your business. And best of all, it's a unified platform. All the tools are connected seamlessly in one platform, out of the box, no complex integrations, no technical expertise required. We've done all the geek work for you. So if you're not signed up with Profit Lifter, I don't even know what you're doing with yourself. But it's time to start automating the right way. If you need a free trial, you can check us out at profitlifter.com and click the Get Started button. You get 14-day free trial. It's going to give you access to all of our CRM, no unlimited contacts, unlimited users. You have your AI call bots and chat bots that are available right there inside the system. There's no upsell for having access to those. You're also going to get access to our Snap-on library. So lead engagement campaigns, affiliate manager, sales funnels, all this stuff that you need to follow up with people. It's already pre-built for you in there. And a little secret, next week, we're installing AI content on all of the Snap-ons. So all of the Snap-ons are going to have AI content automatically loaded in there, meaning when you load it into your CRM, it's automatically going to have all of your emails, everything built out for you right there. So if you want to find out more, hop on, go over to profitlifter.com, check out what we're doing. We would love to see you there and love to answer your questions. And if you need anything, always just comment on this, comment on the video, send us an email, send us smoke signals, however you need to reach us. We're happy to help. And that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys get out there, make some sales, go make some money, have some fun. And if you need anything, reach out and let us know. We'd love to help you. Until next time, we'll see you.